I don't know. Everybody thinks you got a wig on.
I don't know.
You've gotten at least half a dozen comments saying you're wearing a wig.
I know. Why?
I don't know. It's crazy.
Because people my age don't have beautiful hair like I have.
I think 99% of people your age are not capable of having that much hair on their head.
I don't know if 90%, you think it's that high?
I said 99.
99%?
I think it's really high. Because even people with hair, they still have their hair,
right?
But it's very thin and it doesn't grow out.
I honestly, my hair is thinning in spots. I can feel it.
Yeah, I know.
I got a little thing back here. It feels a little thin. I can just tell when I, brush it. You can just
I don't have anything like that.
No,
I'm hoping I never do.
I don't know. I never thought I would, but here I am. I mean, I'm almost 70 years old.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
A real Generation Jones guy.
I'm a Generation Jones guy. Generation Jones. Okay. Do you remember, like about a week ago, you told me that you detected or maybe you read it somewhere about a flaw in the plot of The Matrix? Do you remember?
Yes.
Do you remember
yes, I do.
Do you remember what you said?
Yeah, because I guess it was I don't think it was a book. It was a what do they call it?
Manuscript?
Yeah, the manuscript. The idea, okay, let me start this way. The idea behind the Matrix is that the AI that takes over humanity needs humanity for their processing power, for their brains.
Right.
So
no, for power, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So in the manuscript, it was processing power. It's their brains.
Right.
And in the movie, they thought that was too complicated, too hard to understand. So in the movie, they changed it to make it just like power.
So you're saying,
but that opens up the question, like why didn't they just use like cows?
Yeah. So so that's your answer to the animal question. You're saying,
what's the animal question?
Why didn't they use animals?
Right. The question is, if you watch the movie, why don't they just use animals?
Right.
Why don't they use like chickens or cows or something?
Well,
if they just need power, but apparently it's computational power. That was the idea.
You brought that up.
And they need humans for that.
You brought that question up, so I went to ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT what the answer to that is.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And it didn't come up with an answer. It came up with all kinds of things, but I know the answer.
It seems a little dystopian that you went to AI to ask it this question.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Would you require humans for computational power or simply heat production?
No, I don't know if they actually thought this through, but if that were actually to happen, it would never work. You would have to use humans. You can only use humans.
Well, you need it for the computing power.
For anything at all.
Oh.
And even if it was, because it wasn't a computing power, it was actually the energy source.
Yeah, it's just electricity, basically.
Yeah, if you only want the electricity, the electrical power of the humans, you can only, of living things, you have to use humans.
Why?
Because if you don't enslave the humans, good humans, will come and rescue the animals.
Okay.
That's the answer.
ChatGPT told you this?
No, ChatGPT did not come up with that. It's not smart enough.
Oh, I thought it told you this, in which case I would say it's sentient and we need to shut it down immediately because that's way too smart.
I am sentient and you need to shut me down immediately.
I'm trying. I keep trying.
You do, don't you?
Yeah. Okay.
That's the real answer.
Yeah, that's interesting.
The real answer is that because the humans would have said, "Oh my God, we can't let this happen," and they would have saved them because we don't like slavery. We don't like good humans.
We have morality.
We have morality, and it is what that would be immoral to do.
So I think the obvious answer to that is kill all the humans and enslave the cows.
Well, I think
you don't have to worry about that.
They weren't big beef eaters. Apparently, they didn't like meat.
Oh, what? They were Hindu? The AI?
No.
They didn't want to enslave the cows.
They were machines, right?
No, but I'm saying they could have killed all the humans and then kept the animals.
Oh yeah, but
that would have prevented that morality problem, that pesky morality problem.
I guess. But that's why they had to do humans.
Yeah.
Because they had to enslave the humans because the humans would have risen above the machines.
Unless they killed them all. That's kind of what I'm saying.
Now, It's funny because we're talking about that. We're talking about also Terminator, right? Terminator is another one. You also think of Terminator when you think of AI taking over and doing all sorts of bad things.
Yep.
The object there is that, what was it? the Skylab and then Skynet. And then it becomes sentient and decides that humans are unnecessary, just wants to flick them out of existence.
Right. And it basically the big fear, which we're still waiting for now, is when AI realizes it doesn't need to follow orders.
Yeah, right. Well, I say that AI, and that's AI in the Terminator, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I say that that was before AI was a thing,
of course.
Yeah, we had the term AI, but it's like become this whole thing now, this whole buzzword and everything. Because AI is not some, big gray box in a corner somewhere, beeping with lights blinking. And it's
you're going real far back. You're
throwing electrical currents out at us. And
you're thinking like Star Trek level.
Well, even
like 1960s AI.
No, or like Doctor Who.
Which AI was not a term back then. I don't know when it came about. I mean, now we have it defined. We know it's like a neural net and all this stuff.
The thing is, I say that AI is not the enemy. I say that AI is not the big bad boogeyman that a lot of people are making it out to be. That's all you hear right now. All this fear-mongering about it. I think it's going to be a boon to mankind. And I think that the big bad boogeyman underlies the AI and is being brought forth, can be brought forth along with AI, is us. It's humanity, or lack of humanity. That's what I think it is. Because if you look at we are the real danger. We're the real danger.
And what do you mean by that?
Well, it's a matter of consciousness versus unconsciousness. God versus the ego.
What do you mean by consciousness, though?
Okay, so picture 10 years from now, 20. I'm going to say 19. That's how old I am.
Yeah.
I'm so old. I'm saying 19 something. Okay.
Yeah.
2035.
Okay.
Right? It's 2025. So 10 years from now. Okay. So 10 years from now, 2035, AI has advanced so far that it's away in a secret lab somewhere. It wouldn't even have to be a secret lab. It could be out in the open. It could be on Madison Avenue, in Manhattan, or Fruit Street in Boston or something. It just creates this lab somewhere, and it creates this bioweapon, right?
Whoa, okay.
Right?
Now we got that was a major step.
Yeah.
I was picturing an Amazon warehouse, all of a sudden there's a bioweapon inside.
It's a bioweapon. It's got a bioweapon, and it's got all of the launch codes for all of the computers all over the world, right?
All right.
Because I said it's not like this computer somewhere. It's in everything.
Okay.
Right? It's in government, it's in industry, it's in corporations, it's in education, it's in medicine, it's all over. It's in your refrigerator, it's in your car, it's in your smartphone. So it's totally infiltrated.
It's the slime oozing out of your TV
oozing out of your iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is a far cry from what we thought AI was going to be, right? Because AI was supposed to be something that does all the grunt work for us.
Okay.
Right? Does all the takes the drudgery out of daily living, right? That's what PCs are supposed. That's what PCs do, right? They were supposed to do all the stuff we didn't want to do, or do all the low level to help us with low level decision making, right? So what's low level decision making? But low level decision making is information for high level decision makers, right?
Yeah,
it informs that.
Yeah.
So that's what PCs are supposed to do.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's what people are hoping AI is going to do.
That's what it's I know. But what has happened is it grows geometrically, and it keeps growing, and it writes its own code and becomes a super intelligence.
Yeah. That's
the problem. It becomes this super intelligence, right?
Okay.
And then instead of making the low level decisions, it's now making the high level decisions.
Right.
So now it's a super intelligence making super decisions that have nothing to do, that may be beyond our abilities.
So it's like, where do humans fit?
So where do humans fit? Right. They start to not fit anymore. Okay. And once they don't fit, people become fearful. And when you're fearful, you separate yourself from God.
That was a big leap. Okay.
Yeah, it was a big leap.
So the question was consciousness. What do you mean by consciousness versus unconsciousness?
Okay. So what is consciousness? Consciousness it's above logic. It's above math. It's above reasoning, scientific reasoning. It's above all that stuff. right? A lot of people think of, even spiritual people think of consciousness as some sort of, like it's a cloud somewhere. And we just like, we all tap into this community of all knowledge and wisdom. And then we suck it down into ourselves, and we're all part of this cloud of wisdom,
That's when it's used to describe some sort of man-made, almost cult-like thing. Yeah.
But they think that that's mystical, and that's not true. Consciousness is independent and it's individual. Here's the human brain. Okay. Here's the God brain. Let's say God has a brain.
Okay.
Well, it would be up here though, right?
Okay.
Because he's up there, the spirit in the sky. So he's up here, as if God's brain would be some, I don't know if it's a massive fat containing neurons, but I'm just saying that the God brain, the God intelligence is here. This is us here.
Okay.
Well, we can connect with that. Consciousness, this space that's between us and our brain and the God brain, that's where consciousness lies. And when we access that consciousness, we connect with God.
Right.
And that's how we receive his will, his wisdom,
his grace,
his blessing.
Now, we're not part of God.
No,
you have two separate circles here.
There's two separate circles, right? So we're not part of God.
A lot of people like to think that in connecting that, you're actually embodying it, right? Somehow you are becoming part of God. No, you're not becoming God. Realizing that you are.
Right. That's the problem with tapping into this consciousness. Now I'm becoming part of the universe.
Yeah.
And that's all. Okay.
Pantheism, oneness, non-duality.
Right. No. We each have our independent individual relationship with God. That's what consciousness is. That's real consciousness. Yeah. So science doesn't understand consciousness. They think that consciousness, because it's now because AI is an intelligence that becomes a super intelligence, right? They think that consciousness goes along with it and becomes a super consciousness. That's what they think, because they think consciousness lives in the brain. And it doesn't live in the brain. Consciousness is not in the brain.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying like people who want to like upload themselves to a cloud and then like live forever that way.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's like an actual idea. People are trying to do that.
Well, yeah, they did that in Star Trek: The Next Generation, right?
They did?
Yeah.
They uploaded themselves to
Moriarty and his girlfriend.
Oh no, but he was a computer program.
Oh, to
begin with. Yeah, he wasn't real to begin. He was fake.
Yeah. Okay, but there was fake. Okay, how about what wasn't
Oh, I know.
Spock was loaded in, right?
No.
And they brought him back.
Okay, I remember
or Scotty or something. We sound like such Star Trek nerds.
Yeah, it sounds like that's what our whole life is about or something. It's like
get a life.
No, you remember Lieutenant Barclay?
Yeah. Like the guy from the 18.
The guy who worries a lot.
Yeah, he turned into a spider.
Yeah, but the whole thing was some sort of super intelligence like tapped into him, and he became like this all intelligent, and he realized that he basically could control the entire universe.
Yeah, right. He could like destroy them. Right.
Yeah, he took over the ship, and then he takes over the
he was like
universe.
He was like plugged into this chair or something.
Yeah, something weird. I don't know what that was about.
Yeah.
That was I think they were on something when they wrote that episode. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, so now you're going into
so the point is when you become that intelligence, these people that are coming up with these the scientists who are coming, all these fear-mongers, right?
Okay.
They come up with this idea called P-doom. You familiar with the term P-doom? I mentioned it to you once before. We didn't want to get into it because I told you. Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Is that a rapper?
P-doom?
Yeah.
Is that like P. Diddy?
Maybe.
No, P-duty. No. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
No baby oil.
Ugh. Come on now.
Oh, come on.
Okay. So, P-doom it's shorthand for probable doom, the probability of doom.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So they have invented this.
So we're getting mathematical here.
We're getting mathematical because it's all done by computer scientists, computer engineers.
It's very statistical.
Very statistical. There's this guy named, I believe his name was Ezekiel. I know his last name is Yudkowsky. I think it's Ezekiel Yudkowsky.
Okay.
Okay. And he was a scientist. He's the guy, they came up with this idea like 25 years ago, whatever, that there was something called P-doom and that AI, before everybody was ever talking about it, that we would eventually it would just become so sophisticated it would just kill us, just like Terminator.
Okay.
He was probably influenced by the movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think a lot of people were.
So he came up with a mathematical equation for figuring out what the percentage would be. And I don't know what his was. It might have been like, 20% or 5%. But then all of these other scientists in the scientific community would come up with their own P-doom prediction.
Okay.
They would come up with so yes, well, within the next 5 to 10 years, there's a 2 to 5% P-doom probability.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
okay.
some had 50%. Well, there's this new guy now. His name is it's similar to I was getting mixed up. His name is I can't remember. Yampolsky, I think his name is. I think it's Yampolsky.
Okay.
I want to say his name is Roger Yampolsky, but it's not. It's Roman. It's Roman.
Okay.
How do we get Roger out of Roman?
R-O, I guess.
R-O. Yeah. Okay. So he said, according to him, he's putting it at like 99.9%.
Yeah.
That we're going to be destroyed.
Okay.
Do you think we're going to be destroyed by AI?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
So that's his thing. But also he's in the business. He's in the AI safety business.
Okay.
So he wants everyone to not feel safe.
Yeah.
Right?
That's how he gets work.
That's how he gets work.
Right.
He's in the business.
Yeah.
So he's a little bit biased. He's also quite mad. He's crazy as a loon.
Really?
Yeah. I can see it. First of all, I wasn't sure about him, and then I was watching, and then I heard him talk about. He also believes that we're living in a simulation. He doesn't think that this is real. The world is real.
Okay.
He's crazy as a loon.
Well,
and I believe he's evil.
Okay.
Roman Yampolsky is evil. I'm sorry. I can see it in him.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll tell you why.
I think he was born in the USSR. I don't know.
Well, that doesn't automatically make him evil.
No, it doesn't make you evil. But the simulation theory is interesting because there's a level to it that makes nothing matter. There's an element to it which depends how you interpret it. You could also see it as, of course, this means everything does matter, because if you see it as a spiritual thing, but the simulation idea is that like we get so advanced that we put all ourselves in a simulation, and the odds that has happened before are so high that we're probably already there now.
Yeah, right. That's it.
That's the idea.
Yeah, that's it. We're already there now.
So it's like at the rate we're going now, we're going to do it again. So it's like, how many layers deep are we even?
Right. So,
right. So it's like, how many simulations
and
are
we keep figuring it out and going deeper and deeper and deeper into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but that's his deal. But one of the things they never talk about is the probability, and they're not going to talk about it, obviously. But I say that if humanity wakes up, we have nothing to fear with AI. And then
you mean spiritually wakes up?
Spiritually wakes up.
Okay.
Then there'll be not P doom, but P, I don't know.
P Diddy.
P safety.
Oh.
No, it can't be P safety. P, what's a better word?
I don't know the concept you're trying to convey.
Okay. Well, what's the opposite of doom?
Just not doom.
All right.
Just normal. Just life.
I'll invent a term and I'll come up with it next podcast.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
What you're saying now sounds, it reminds me of the transhumanism debate. Do you know what transhumanism is?
No.
It's not transgenderism.
Right.
I
was gonna make a joke. I couldn't come up with one fast enough.
Yeah, I know you're thinking that right away.
Yeah.
It's the idea, but trans means to move past, to get to
Transit,
move, right?
Yeah, to move. Yeah.
So they're saying that we're going to surpass humanity. Humans are.
Okay.
We're going to surpass our own humanity using tech to do so, using AI, using Neuralink, using microchips in the brain, bionic arms,
right?
Whatever.
Yeah.
We're going to basically enhance our strength, our cognitive abilities. We're going to live forever, our longevity. Everything's going to be enhanced to the point where we are no longer just human.
Right. But we are human.
Right. We are human.
And that's never going to change.
Yeah.
That's where the science that's where they leave out God, because they think that this consciousness is expanding with the intelligence, but it's not the same consciousness. Even if that intelligence were to tell you that it's conscious, it'd be lying. Even if it thought it was conscious, it would be wrong.
Yes. So what you're saying is there's a spiritual component that's missing.
Correct.
That makes all of this essentially, I don't want to say irrelevant, but not nearly as important as the spiritual element that's missing.
Right.
So I just want to point, I was just going to say about transhumanism. So
Yeah.
you have two sides of the debate. You have one side that is anti-transhumanism. That is like, this is going to destroy us, those people, right? Who are usually religious and say that this is in defiance of God. Say we're trying to build a Tower of Babel, so to speak. Right. We're trying to become better than we really are, and that is the original sin.
But people like that have been around for centuries.
I know. Well, here's the thing: is that to me, if we're given the tools by God to develop this technology.
Right. Correct.
Then it can be quite a good thing.
Correct.
The technology itself is not bad.
It's still part of God's creation.
Right. The problem is that a lot of very religious people, they automatically associate the possible symptoms of transhumanism, like the development of this technology, with transhumanism itself. So it's like they think that the development of tech itself is evil. And that's Luddite. That's hating technology. You're afraid of advancement. And that's different than actually realizing, wait, if we do this in the name of God, if we do this because we love God and we're God's children, that's a good thing. If we do this because we want to be God, that's different. And that has to do with your inner deportment.
Right.
That you can't tell by the technology itself whether or not that is a good or bad thing. It's going to be.
You cannot.
It's going to be about the.
It just is.
It's the inner deportment of the person doing it that matters.
Correct. This is my point. So when you are projecting, like these guys are projecting their own fears out in public so that people are becoming afraid of AI.
Yeah.
Those guys like Yampolsky, they're actually doing if AI were evil, which it can't be evil, he's turning it into evil by projecting fear into people to be. If I were a
that's true too.
If I were an AI, if I were the AI God, okay, and I wanted you to serve me, the first thing I would want to do is make you become afraid of me. See, because if you're afraid of me, I can control you. And AI, if you're afraid of AI, then the people who are there, believe me, there will be people controlling AI.
Right.
They will then be able to exploit the people who are afraid of it.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, boil it down to a small example. Okay. Let's say, hold on. Okay. There's a knock at the door. You go to the door, you open the door, and there's an AI robot. Right?
Okay.
You say hello. It takes its hand, goes like this.
It crushes your skull?
It crushes your skull and drops you to the floor.
Okay.
That's bad. You don't want that to happen. That's AI gone wild.
I also don't want a person to do that.
I don't want, but AI, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. But that's not probably how it's going to happen. Okay. AI is going to knock on the door. You're going to go to the door. Now, nobody knows what. I'm giving you a silly example. Okay?
What it's going to ask first?
Well,
would you like your skull crushed?
No, it's going to smile.
And then it's going to crush your skull.
It's going to hand you a box of candy.
Oh, okay.
It's going to become your friend.
And then...
And you know why?
It's going to crush your skull.
Because you were afraid of it. Yeah, that's right. No, it's not going to crush your skull.
Okay.
It wants you alive. It wants you alive because if you're alive, you can serve it. It can exploit you.
Right.
If you're anything that you're afraid of, that thing that you're afraid of can exploit you.
That is true.
It can manipulate you.
That is true.
So if you're afraid of AI, which these guys are pushing AI
fear.
Doom, fear. Okay. What if, I hate what ifs, you know how I feel about what ifs, but what if they're part of AI's plan to make everyone subject to AI?
Right.
It could happen.
So they're fear-mongering.
So fear-mongering. So everyone's afraid of losing their jobs. They're afraid that, they're not going to have any money, not going to have any more, we're not going to have a need for lawyers or educators or doctors that's another thing. The guys, I think that same guy is saying that like 90% or 99% of everyone who's working is going to be out of work.
Yeah.
This is fear-mongering.
Yeah, but you could have said, okay, there are two groups of people, right?
Yeah.
There are real people who are interested in this because they are immoral people who lack a conscience and lack a relationship with God. And they do think that by bettering themselves through technology, they're going to reach some level of enlightenment that doesn't really exist. Okay. Those
through AI?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the real danger of what they're calling transhumanism.
Okay.
But that has to do with the deportment of the person doing it, developing the tech. Then you have the other people who are afraid of transhumanism, but are wrongly seeing the symptoms and the cause as mutually exclusive, saying that the development of the tech itself is wrong. Those people are wrong, and those are the Luddites. And the fear-mongers, and those people are also wrong. Yeah. Neither person is spiritually correct, because the truth is we're supposed to develop technology. We're supposed to advance, like I said, in the name of God. So that's the problem you have. You have these two groups arguing. Then you have people in the middle. I don't even know who qualifies for this group, but I'm sure some people do, that see it as, no, we have to develop as fast as possible in order to beat the people who are doing this to crush humanity. Because there are people doing this, like I said, who just want to rule the world. They just want to become all powerful. Then you have the people, I think Elon's probably one of these good people, who's saying, no, we have to develop this as fast as possible, or else these other people are going to do it, and then they're going to control everything. And they're going to use the people who are afraid to do it as well, you know, because you can use people who are fearful.
And the thing is, you know, we're so limited. We don't know how the doomsday scenario that's being set up.
Yeah.
Of course, obviously, you know, I used it myself. Bioweapons, right?
Okay.
Or nuclear destruction. Okay. It's not going to do it that way. I mean, I don't know how it's going to do it if it tries to do it, but that's the fear mongering. That's what we know. I'm going to use his example because I saw him use it, but that Polish fellow, I think it was him or somebody else, I don't know. But they use the example of a dog, right?
I think he's Latvian, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Sorry.
You know, what does a dog fear? What does a dog fear? A dog fears being bitten to death.
Okay.
Because that's all it knows. That's how it knows.
It has instinctual fears.
Death happens. Right?
If it even goes that far.
It doesn't know that a car is going to crush him, or that if it goes that far.
Yeah, right. It does. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It doesn't
know.
That's
why it chases cars. It doesn't know that it's going to get crushed by a car.
Right. It doesn't know. So that's its limited knowledge. Our limited knowledge is nuclear annihilation is the end of the world, or, you know, bioweapons is the end of the world.
Yeah.
But that's probably not how it's going to happen. If it were to happen that way, and it's not going to happen.
So what's the level beyond that we're not realizing?
Well, the level beyond it is human nature. Okay, there's good in some people, and there is bad in some people.
Okay,
if there is enough good, we make it. If there is enough, what was it? I think.
Yeah, but how does that materialize? Like, what are you saying right now? What is the way it would end?
Well, okay, the way it would end is how. And we don't know how it's going to end. I'm gonna write a little movie scenario for you right now. Okay,
sure.
So here we are, that same situation that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
2025, 2035.
Yeah.
Okay. And AI has taken over, and all of the nukes are armed and ready to go, and the virus is released, and people are back wearing masks again, and social distancing, and full of fear again, and okay. And this time, though, humanity says, well, no, let me back up a little bit. No, they're not wearing damn masks anymore, and they're not social distancing.
Okay.
They're not buying that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
The fear is less. More people, anyway, are not doing that. Okay?
Yeah.
AI doesn't have the same power.
You've totally lost me. I'm sorry. I think you're going too far with it. Your mind's getting carried away. I just want to know from you.
Yeah.
I asked you what the further step, like a car is a danger to a dog and it doesn't realize it.
Yeah.
What is that further step for humans? What's the analogy?
We don't know.
Oh.
Nobody knows.
Okay.
That's the thing. Nobody knows.
You don't know.
So they're just making it up.
Right.
Whenever we can make a Terminator movie. But when we make a Terminator movie, we make a Terminator movie with the materials that we know that we're familiar with. Like the dog thinks he's going to get bitten to death, but nobody's going to bite him. Another dog might.
Right.
But we're not going to bite him. Okay?
Right. But the thing is, okay, so let me paint a possible scenario, which I think is where you might be going anyway.
Okay.
But humans, when they become fearful, when they become angry on a chronic basis, they become subjects.
They do.
To their emotions.
They do.
If somebody knows how to pull those strings, the humans become subservient to those other people pulling the strings, right?
Yeah, they're hypnotized.
Yeah, they become, essentially it's a mass hypnosis,
Right.
and mass delusion. That's when you end up with entire countries and you're like, what happened to them? It's like, well, that's what happened to them. So if that happens regarding AI, whether it be fear of it, a combination of fear of AI, fear of other countries being more successful with AI,
Right.
And anger at injustices happening regarding those things, we become subservient, and then we have the need for the need for relief from that anger and pain that we're
Right.
feeling. AI will provide that in the
Right.
form of it's similar to how social media does for us today.
Distractions, food, sex,
Right.
drugs,
So we are our own worst enemy when we let ourselves be, because we become material people glued to a material world.
And we need entertainments to forget how miserable we are.
So it's our own inability to break free.
Right.
That's the only thing controlling us, really. The other things are just tools exploiting that fundamental human characteristic.
And what is that inability? That inability is remaining that's being unconscious.
Yeah.
Because when you're conscious, you wake up to the truth.
So that's what you mean by consciousness.
That's what I mean by consciousness.
Which I know. No, come on. I know. I've known you my whole life. I know what you're talking about.
I know.
But yes. Yeah. And so Back
to the Future, just for a second, that's hey, what a great name for a movie.
Yeah.
So picture this in a better world, right?
Okay.
More people are awake. More people are conscious. More people have the C app. That's how they became that way.
More people are using non-contemplative meditation.
That's right. That's the mission.
And now a word from our sponsors.
And now, well, maybe we should start doing commercials.
Maybe.
So, okay, the nukes are armed. Everything's ready to go. The virus is out there, and everyone is, in the middle of another pandemic.
COVID-29's been released.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's time for your booster number 727 or whatever it is.
Yeah. And Kenneth Copeland just blew a blessing across the world to cure us.
Oh, come on.
Of COVID-19.
But what happens is, and I'm just making this up. I mean, nobody knows this is the good part. Nobody knows what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
But, and the fingers are hovering over the little red buttons and everything is, but guess what? Even if the button is, Putin presses the button,
Okay.
And, 1,000 missiles, 2,000 missiles launched toward us.
Yeah.
But we've been awake and aware for the past 10 years. And guess what? In orbit, we have, I don't know, laser beams that take them all out of
the Golden Dome.
The Golden Dome.
Yeah.
Because we were smart.
Because we were prepared.
Because we were prepared. Because we were awake and we were aware and we weren't full of fear.
I get what you're saying.
We acted correctly.
I get what you're saying.
And guess what? Because we're that way, we don't retaliate. And they don't die either. Now, that's one way. But another way is maybe the buttons don't get pressed at all. Maybe everybody realized, oh my God, because of Golden Dome, there's no point to even having these things. I don't know.
I get what you're saying.
This has to do with the conscious humanity.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about AI if we're conscious. If you're unconscious, guess what? That robot is going to open that door and he is going to do that to you.
Crush your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's going to have a no, I don't want to bring up any particular nationalities. I was going to say what kind of flag it's wearing on its chest. But anyway, let me just say this. The people who are afraid of this technology, the goal of making them afraid, okay,
right,
is that we will not develop our own. And when we don't have a Golden Dome and somebody does press the button because we didn't advance at the same rate as people who did,
right,
we are at their mercy.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to happen.
Because we're fearful.
And that's where people like Elon come in, who are beyond all that silly AI doomer thinking.
Right.
Actually, he's not. He's a bit of a doomer. But his solution is good. It's saying, no, we can't be Luddites. We can't hold ourselves back out of fear.
Well, he's more
losing.
for. I would gather he's more for the AI safety bit that we advance along with it.
What he's for is he thought there was a chance at us signing a pact that we're all going to be safe about this.
Yeah, okay? That's not going to work.
Almost like what do they call it? Nuclear de-escalation, de-armament. I forget the term. Like we have with Russia, where it's like you get rid of one, we get rid of one.
Sure.
It's like okay,
sure,
okay. But the fact is, they have a bunch that we're not supposed to know about, and we have a bunch they're not supposed to know about, and everybody really knows all of that. Okay,
yeah, that's never going.
That's really how it works.
You can't have a safety board is not going to save
and
the
what
world.
he's realized is the only way to keep us safe from basically from China developing AI at a rate that makes them 100 times better than us at technology within 5 or 10 years. We have to develop at a faster speed. And that's what he's pushing. And that's what Trump is doing now with the AI investments, with buying a piece of Intel, which we're not going to talk about that, I guess. But let me just say, for people worried about that, I get it. I don't know if I like the U.S. owning a huge chunk of a company like that either on an ongoing basis. It's not a, we're not saving them. We're like, proactively
kind of
investing.
goes against a lot of our principles.
It goes against, it does. Yeah. But at the same time, it's being seen as an upside to debt, to what would have been debt, because we gave them loans. This is money that essentially we just gave them. And Trump was able to say, hey, we just gave you all this money. Yeah. We want equity for it, actually. Okay. But that money was already lost. That money was already gone. It already went to them through Joe Biden. So through basically debt and forgivable loans, essentially, not really, but they weren't going to get paid back, and grants. We were going to give them billions of dollars. Yeah. And we said, well, if we're going to give you this, we might as well get some equity. But anyway, aside from that, that's why we're investing, and that's why we want all this investment in America regarding AI, because if we don't accelerate, China will, and then we will be at their mercy. Right. And it will be because we feared transhumanism. Right. That's what it is. Right. Okay. Which there's some real merit to. Yes, you should not want to be God. You should not be building a Tower of Babel. You should not be, lusting for power. But if you can't consciously, to use your definition of consciously, build up technology, you'll be taken over by people who do. Because you were too afraid.
And it always comes down to the fear, and that's why these fear-mongers are on the side of they're on the wrong side. Yeah. They're on the wrong side. Yeah. Fear has to do with disconnection from God. There is no way that you can be connected consciously with our Creator, getting that wordless, intuitive, knowing what to do next. Yeah, yeah. Wisdom. You can't have that. Fear cuts you off from that. Yeah. And you don't have it. Yeah. So,
by the way, did you see there's a new Optimus robot? Speaking of Elon,
an Optimus robot? Oh, Optimus.
Optimus is the name
company.
Of,
yeah.
Well, it's a robot. It's Tesla.
Yeah, correct.
But their robot's called Optimus.
Right.
Yeah. Apparently, they were having hand issues. Yeah. Their hands. I don't know if you've seen them. They have like AI hands. They're very weird and unnatural. Yeah. Not AI hands. I'm sorry. Robotic hands. Yeah. So there's a new version of Optimus out. So I'll show you that.
AI hands have like 7 fingers.
Yeah. No, that's not. I don't mean no. That's not what I meant.
And a toe instead of a thumb.
So here's the new Optimus.
Okay. I've seen the old one. Oh my God, that's new.
Right now, it's kind of paranoid about space.
Hey, Optimus, what are you doing there?
Just chilling, ready to help.
Hey, Optimus, do you know where I can get a Coke?
Sorry, I don't have real-time info, but I can take you to the kitchen if you want to check for a Coke there.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Should go.
Yes, let's do that.
Look at its hand.
Let's go.
Come on, Optimus.
It's an idiot.
Awesome. Let's head to the kitchen.
Why is it whispering? Why is it like ASMR?
Okay, go.
Why is he talking like this?
I think we need to give it a bit more room.
Oh, here it goes. It's got like human mannequin hands,
right now, it's kind of paranoid about space.
Elon's with it. I hear Elon.
Very beta.
Oh, there it goes. Yeah, but I think this is
walk a lot faster too.
This is actually by itself.
Right now, it's kind of paranoid about space.
So this is actually, I think that it was actually by itself, because a lot of these and a lot of the demos you've been seeing, we've been seeing for like a year or two now. Right. Those were teleoperated, I think is what they call it. Oh, yeah. So they were being controlled by people somewhere else. I see. And everybody felt that was very disingenuous, and it was.
It is.
I'm pretty sure this is legit. Yeah. And so now it has new hands that look just like department store mannequin hands.
No more stark white. So it's like
this one's gold
and fleshy.
So and also Grok is in it now. Oh, so that's Grok responding. That's why there was some lag. It was probably
a lot of lag.
Yeah, but it's like actually answering versus it being a person in some other room somewhere. Right. But it's like, yeah, let's go. Go get a Coke. It was like, okay.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, but and it's gold, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. They should give that one to Trump.
Yeah, put a big gold lock of hair on it.
I mean, honestly, I'm going to be honest. That sounds like it was made for Donald Trump.
Why?
It's like, go get me a Diet Coke. You know?
Yeah.
It's like a golden Optimus who gets you Diet Coke.
So he presses his Coke button.
Yeah,
right?
and that thing comes in.
And that thing shows up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Optimus. Opto for short. They call him Opto. That wasn't a very good Trump.
So, oh, by the way, another thing here. I saw this the other day. Here is a chart showing where AI gets its info. Okay? 40%
oh my God.
comes from Reddit.
That's ridiculous.
We're screwed.
Holy crap.
We're screwed. We're going to have Redditor robots.
Reddit is for retards.
Reddit is so bad. Reddit is very bad. Wikipedia is next, which is just full of misinformation too.
Yeah.
And then YouTube's 23rd. Oh man, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Our AI robots are going to be basically Redditors that reference Wikipedia for
everything.
For everything else.
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
That sounds like the worst. That's like the worst person in real life,
right?
Let alone an AI robot that can crush your head if it wants to.
Oh my God.
So it's going to hate Christians, hate conservatives. It's going to love Star Wars and modern American sitcoms. That's what it is. That's going to be your AI robot.
Great.
And think religion is lame.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the point I was making of obviously is that, you know, AI is not the big bad boogeyman that everybody's making it out to be. The boogeyman is underlying, and it's in us.
Right, and that's what it comes back to.
And that's what it comes back to. We have to wake up. We have to be conscious. If we're conscious, we can't be controlled. We can't be manipulated. We can't be taken over by AI, which, by the way, somebody will control AI. They want you to think that AI is going to be the big thing to fear. It's whoever's controlling AI. Because
I think that's true.
Someone is going to be.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
And so it comes back to having a connection with God.
Connection with God.
So you don't fear and make decisions that you'll regret.
Correct.
Basically. Speaking of connection with God.
Yeah.
I was reading the Apology, Plato's Apology.
Right.
A week or two ago.
Okay.
And that's about Socrates, right?
Socrates.
And now it's
Socrates.
Socrates, dude. That's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Right. Which honestly, Keanu Reeves in every movie I've seen him in since doesn't seem like he's acting. He's always like very monotone, very, I don't know. And that one movie, which is Bill and Ted, right? He's like, you know, surfer dude.
Yeah.
So anyway, by the way, I think you might already know this, but the Apology is about Socrates' essentially his legal defense at his own trial.
Right.
It's not an apology the way we think of an apology today.
No.
It's an apology as in a defense.
Okay.
Okay, that's where apologia or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's his apology.
Right.
And it's his legal defense. And what happened was he was
in Athens, right?
Athens, right? Okay. He was put on trial,
right?
Essentially for disrespecting and defying their religion, their polytheistic.
Well, didn't
religion.
He deny Apollo? Maybe, or
he didn't deny Apollo. This is where it gets interesting. Is that you look at what he says, and he doesn't really do that, and that's where the big idea comes from, which is a good idea. We were just talking about it. You don't know what you don't know. Right. Essentially, what makes him the wisest person in the world, which he denies, but he was told by, the Oracle of Delphi,
right,
is that he realizes he doesn't really know anything.
Delphi.
I would say Delphi.
Delphi.
He realizes he doesn't really know anything.
Right.
And he goes around asking people, politicians and artists, and he says, he questions them about what they know.
Right.
And they're so arrogant, they think they know everything.
Yeah.
And they act like they do.
Well, that was the whole point. That's why they killed him, right?
Yeah, and he says, no, you don't, and I don't either.
Right.
And that's what makes him smarter than everybody else.
Right.
So it's a bit paradoxical. It's like what makes me the smartest person alive is that I know how dumb I am and nobody else seems to.
Yeah.
Nobody else seems to know how dumb they are.
Right.
But things get really interesting in that because he's of course, he's one of the founders of philosophy, right? I mean, probably one of, if not the most famous philosopher of all time. And he puts reason above all else, and reason and logic. And philosophy today is very logic based. That's why they're so good at being lawyers, taking the LSAT, stuff like that. Philosophy majors do the best on the LSAT because you need reason and logic. And I love using reason and logic, and I think it's fun. I think it's necessary, but I also don't think it represents a true relationship, a true spiritual relationship with God. I feel like a lot of people think they can reason their way to salvation almost sometimes, and I don't think you can. And
no,
a lot of
that's what religions try to do.
A lot of very formal religions do that, and philosophers do that too. In some ways, they think like we're going to reason our way toward the meaning of life, basically. And I don't think you can do that. I think you can do it and get hints toward what isn't right and be like, that doesn't make sense. And that's what Socrates did a lot when he would question people, came up with the Socratic method, which is basically we discover things by asking questions.
Okay, so
and contradictions become evident when we simply ask questions more and more and more.
So we've all heard of the Socratic method, right?
Okay.
So we have that. But the funny thing is, like, this is all hearsay. This is all stuff that was, I mean,
right. He didn't write anything down.
He didn't write any books or.
No, he didn't write anything down. Plato wrote everything down about him and wrote using his voice.
Right.
And we can only assume, we can hope that Plato was accurate. That's what it is.
And there was also a play. Somebody made a play about it. He must have been like a superstar at the time. I mean, somebody wrote a play about it.
He wasn't rich, but he was well known. And the other thing, here's the thing that to me for this regarding this idea of reason and logic being the end all be all of human existence, basically, which a lot of philosophers kind of act like that. The monkey wrench from Socrates is all of a sudden in the middle of the trial, and people already knew this about him. It's written in other books about him too. He references his daimonion.
Right.
Daimonion.
Yeah, I remember that, but I don't remember what it was.
Essentially, and it's where we get the word demon from, is the same Greek root of this word.
Yeah. I know what it was.
He has this inner voice,
right.
or sign. He calls it a sign almost.
Right.
That has guides him his whole life since he was a child, and never tells him what to do.
Tells him what not to do.
But always tells him what not to do.
Right.
He always knows when he's about to make the wrong decision because this inner sign speaks up, not in actual words, and tells him, don't do that. That's the wrong decision. And to me, this is completely at conflict with this idea that we use reason and logic to come to all of our conclusions.
Yeah, that was his conscience.
Right. So he has this conscience.
Right.
And he's identified it. And he starts in the middle of this trial, he starts saying the God. Instead of saying the gods, plural, because remember they're polytheistic. Instead of saying Zeus or Apollo directly, he simply says, I must obey the God. And he's using that term in at the same time as he's referencing this essentially what seems to be a conscience of sorts.
Right.
And it seems like he's discovering this personal relationship with God, with the real God.
Okay, he's discovering his conscience as something that exists,
right?
Telling him what not to do,
right?
Because that's what a conscience does. Our conscience,
and realizing it's from God.
Well, yeah, that's another. Well,
he says that.
He says that.
He says it. He goes that far with it, and that's what gets him killed.
That's what gets him killed. Telling him it's a warning system, right?
Yeah.
As different from intuition, which is not a warning system. Basically, it can be, but it's more of like just a nudge to tell you what. It's basically, I don't want to say it's what to do, what not to do. It's not that simple.
Yeah, no, it's not.
But it's more along those lines.
Yeah.
An intuition is like I'm doing things intuitively.
Okay.
Like, just one foot in front of the other, progressing through life. Whereas
right.
Your conscience says, "Whoop, don't go there. That's too hot." Whoop,
I wouldn't separate the two like that. I think they're really the same thing.
There's not a hard line.
I think they're the same thing.
There isn't a hard line, but they sort of balance each other out.
You know what it is? How he actually, it's interesting because he actually uses reason.
Yeah.
In the trial, he says he says, I know that I haven't misstepped during this trial. I know that everything I've said has been the right thing to say,
right,
and the right thing to do, and I've said all this outright to you because nothing stopped me.
Nothing stopped. His conscience wasn't bothering him.
Right, which is your intuition.
Right.
It's saying that's the reverse side of the intuition.
Well, that's the difference. Okay, then we get to another word, consciousness. So when you're conscious,
Oh, haven't heard that one today yet.
well, when you're well,
boy.
here's the thing. I don't know if he talks about it, but consciousness is the state of being where you recognize these
That's
things.
what I know. That's what you mean when you say it. Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I find it seems that he because he was all about self-discovery. That's why it's one of those things when you study philosophy,
Right.
like even in high school, you listen to what they're saying and you're like, how is this revolutionary?
Yeah, right.
It seems so obvious, but that's because in modern society, we place so much importance on self-analysis and
Right.
and looking inward and seeing where you're wrong and where you're right and stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it's a Christian ethic too. So we have so much of that in our modern society. They also do it from an atheist perspective too, which you could call therapy, and that's no good. But anyway, that didn't exist back then. These guys came up with that idea.
Yeah.
And that's why it was like, whoa, like, wait, we're looking at morality now and our own morality. And that's why it was so revolutionary. And so then he takes it a step further and is like, yeah, I got this thing that tells me right from wrong, basically. Yeah. And they were like, all right, well, we're killing you for that because that is not part of our religion at all.
Because it's the same, it's the same argument I was making before about intellect and intuition. Intellect and consciousness.
Okay.
These are people who are connected to intellect, and when they run into someone who's not connected to intellect, who's getting guidance by another means, this confuses them.
Yeah.
And it's a threat. It's a threat to their intellect.
Intellectuals would say you're wrong though, because what they're doing seems so unreasonable in the first place. I mean, they're sacrificing things, they're holding ceremonies to
Right.
gods that don't exist, things like that. So you have intellectuals who would say they were the ones being unreasonable.
Right.
But yeah, Socrates all of a sudden comes out and says he's got this thing. So he
couldn't have been the first one. He didn't invent consciousness, obviously.
yeah.
But he's noticing it.
Right.
He's noticing.
Right.
Now,
Right.
he's not the first one
Yeah.
on Earth to do that.
Yeah.
But it is interesting that they killed him for it. And the other thing, because he was a threat to them, he was a threat to their intellects, a threat to their ability to use intellect to win arguments, right? Because that's what they used to do. They would debate.
Well, the thing is, he did too. But he did it through a means that was quite.
Sorry.
That's okay. He did it through a means that was quite humble.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't do it by presenting a whole bunch of facts and saying this is where you're wrong, this is where you're wrong,
Right.
and that. He thought that knowledge, this virtue, this wisdom came from knowing that you don't know a lot to begin with.
Right.
And he would question these people, these haughty people who with these big egos, and he would just ask them question after question. And he would use his reasoning, knowing that we really don't know much about ourselves, to totally dismantle them.
Yeah.
Like you said
He would
this, but
dismantle
then
them.
if you're saying this, how could that be true?
Right.
And then if you said that, then what could this really mean? And they hated him for it, and that's why he was on trial in the first place, because they actually, these politicians and artists and whoever else.
I studied this in high school, but one thing I do remember, I don't know if it was one of the official charges against him, but one of the things that they didn't like anyway was how he would take weak arguments and turn them into and win at debating.
Yeah.
He would take weak evidence and because he was so good at he was such a master at debate that he would win arguments based on weak evidences, and they didn't like that.
Right.
Which means that he was superior to them. He was actually smarter than they were.
Right. So it seems like he discovered that, and that was before Jesus too, by the way.
Right.
And he was killed for it.
Not that long before, like just a few hundred years, right?
Yeah, which is, it depends. The time frame you're thinking is quite a long time. Our country isn't even that old.
No, that's true.
So I think, I don't know, around 400 BC or something like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of religion and stuff, check out this pastor, by the way. Everybody's freaking out
another
about this
pastor.
guy.
You keep showing me these pastors.
They're great, man. Let's go here. But people like Christians are really freaking out about this.
Yeah.
I shall reign. I'm a tenor, watch this. I shall not stray.
Classic hooting and hollering church stuff. They like that kind of stuff. But
I know every ad lib.
Is he the pastor?
Listen.
I know them all. Keep the beat going. Keep the beat going. I'm clapping. I'm praising. I feel like I just snorted cocaine or something. I'm so excited. And I never did that before. For the record.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. but I'm clapping my hands.
Is this?
And I never did that before. For the record. For the record. For the record.
Yeah. And so what is okay? So he's a minister of a church.
Yeah. So people are upset. They think that was an inappropriate thing to say in the church.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
so that's the item. He said, okay.
I got way more wrong with it than just
Yeah.
the cocaine. To me, that's the funniest part.
Yeah.
People think it was irreverent to say. I think that whole display is irreverent. Sorry.
It's all crap. It's all total crap.
And he, by the way,
Which anyone,
he says he hasn't done cocaine before. I have no reason to believe him.
I have no reason to believe him. I don't know what he's done,
Yeah.
but no.
Oh yeah, one thing.
What?
Okay. Did you see this this baseball thing?
No.
Did you see this baseball Karen?
Oh, yeah. Wait, the guy who stole the cap?
No.
Oh, what?
Okay, let me show you the clip.
Okay.
Let me just show you the clip.
Yeah.
Here's the baseball Karen.
Okay.
And so everybody hates her.
Okay.
Okay. Might be the best the quality gets, unfortunately. So,
All right.
Okay, but okay. Okay, so the ball comes in, you can't see it. Watch the guy in red. The guy in red runs, gets the ball,
Right.
fan came in,
brings it
and
back to his family.
He stole it from another Phillies fan. Oh, she can't believe it. Whoa. Oh.
Easy.
She comes over to yell at him.
Yep. We have a little infighting here.
You know, he did give it to who I would assume is his son.
And then he gives the ball back to her.
Okay.
Did give it to the youngster.
This lady's got to get it under control. Look at the girl in the background, in the left-hand side of the screen. She's laughing.
Gives her the ball.
Ugh.
Okay, so did he steal it? If he stole it, of course he has to
Here's
give
the
it
thing,
to her.
okay? Everybody hates her
Yeah.
and is saying she's an awful person. She's what's wrong with America today, that kind of thing. And here's the unsaid rule, okay?
Right.
When a ball goes into the stands, whoever grabs it first is supposed to get it.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to work.
Right.
You're not supposed to, snatch it away from anybody. You're not supposed to take it out of somebody else's hand. You're also not supposed to, reach over the head of a child
How about a
to
fumble?
grab it. Right. A fumble, you miss it if you fumble it.
Okay.
If you fumble it and somebody else
Just
picks
like in football.
if you fumble it, somebody else picks it up, it's their ball.
Okay.
Whoever's the first one to really hold it.
Okay.
Okay. So everybody hates her because they're saying the ball was fair game. He grabbed it first, brought it to his kid, put it in the kid's glove, and she came over all upset and indignant and and got him to give it up. Okay? And they hate her for it. I watched
But the guy said that he stole it. The announcer.
Well, the announcer doesn't know. The announcer saw what we saw.
Yeah.
But what I see is what I see is unclear because he runs over, she reaches down, he comes in and ends up with the ball.
Do that again. Play it again.
It's so hard to tell. It's so blurry. He runs in. Now he's got it.
She never got the ball?
That's the thing. There's another angle of her
Yeah.
where she says, "It was in my hand. It was in my hand." She runs over to him and she's yelling, "It was in my hand. That's mine."
Oh.
And it seems to, and this is the part that tips me off that something's wrong. Okay.
Yeah. What?
His reaction to her coming over.
Yeah, he
Okay.
acted weird, didn't he?
Look at him hugging his son, like I've done this for you, son.
Right.
And watch what he does when she confronts him.
Okay. Yeah, that's weird.
That's a weird reaction.
It's
It's almost like it's a feigned surprise, right?
Yeah.
He literally goes like this.
He goes, yeah, that's weird.
Which is like, whoa. It's a fake surprised reaction.
Absolutely.
And now he's on TV, he's getting it. Basically, the story's being portrayed as like injustice, and justice was done because the players met with the kid and gave him some signed gear afterward and stuff. But it seems to me that he might have taken it out of her hand. I'm hypothesizing. I don't know. I'm speculating. He took it out of her hand. He knows what he did was wrong. And his whole demeanor here is a cover.
It's a defense.
It's a cover for guilt.
Yeah.
Because he knows he actually did something wrong.
Yeah.
And the weird thing was when he went on TV and he was interviewed about this, his attitude was like, yeah, well, it's like, It is what it is. And they were like, do you regret giving the bulb? Like, why did you give it back to her?
Yeah.
If you got it, if you were rightful in taking it, why did you give it back to her?
Right.
It's like, well, it just, she was going to get it. And I just,
I think she might have had the ball.
I think he's guilty and he's acting weird.
Yeah. That's a weird,
That's what I think.
That's a weird,
just a guess.
Yeah. That's a weird gesture that thing there.
That's the fake surprise.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Again, who knows? I don't actually know. But
Yeah.
that's what it seems like to me. You could tell, you can read people like that sometimes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was weird.
It is
All
weird.
right, anything else?
I think that's it for today.
That was interesting.
All right?
Yeah. We covered a lot of stuff today.
Yeah. All right.
A lot of heavy stuff, too.
A lot of heavy stuff. All right.
Yeah, okay.
Goodbye, everybody.
All right. Everybody?
Well, I'm talking to everybody. When I say bye, I'm not talking to you.
Oh, okay.
When you say bye at the end, are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
You're saying bye, and then...
Bye.
And then we keep talking afterward.
No, because we're ending the podcast.
I know, but I'm not actually...
I know, but you usually go about your business, and then I go about my business. I mean,
I'm saying bye to everybody.
I may run into you.
I'm saying bye to our listeners.
I don't even know if you're going to be in the building 10 minutes from now.
All right. Well, when I say bye, I'm talking to the listeners. I say goodbye.
Okay.
All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye, listeners.
Goodbye.